I'm Elizabeth Warburton and welcome to Season 3 of Property Elevator. In Season 2, we saw many property professionals face the angels to try and secure that all-important funding for their property projects. And this year, we're back for more. Now, we've seen over the last year just how important it is to have your money working for you. With inflation rising and bank interest levels at their lowest in years, it's never been more important to put your money to good use. This is why so many people turn to property investing. It's not easy though. You often need both the finance and the knowledge to take that deal over the line. And that's where our angels fly down to help you. In this show, we give property professionals the chance to pitch their deals to our 5 seasoned property investors. Helen Chorley, John Howard, Paul Mahoney, Ranjan Bhattacharya and Nicholas Wallwork, or who we call our property investment angels. These developers have the chance to walk away with the backing of someone who can bring both the finance and experience to their deal. You're watching Property Elevator.
Hi, I'm John Howard. I've been a property developer and investor for 40 years, and during that time I've bought and sold in the region of 4,000 properties.
My name's Paul Mahoney. I'm a property investor. I also founded Nova Financial Group, which is a property investment advisory company.
My name's Helen Chorley. I'm a professional property investor. I'm also a co-founder of the Property Sisters UK community, supporting women and SME developers in the industry.
My name's Nicholas Wallwork. I'm an investor, developer and owner of propertyforum.com and the development brand Red Brick.
My name is Ranjan Bhattacharya. I'm a property entrepreneur, an investor and developer for the last 30 years.
Why haven't you got a more recent valuation?
I don't have a handle on how much value you've added, if at all.
My biggest concern is that this takes 4 years to do or 5 years to do.
Also, there's no contingency in there.
God, they're going to stitch me up again, aren't they? I can't believe it's happening twice.
Deja vu.
Deja vu, deja vu.
Welcome to episode 5. Let's see who our first pitch of the day is. Hi Jenny.
Hello.
Welcome to Property Elevator.
Thank you very much.
Where have you travelled from this morning?
Oh, only just a little local hotel, but I'm in Oxfordshire.
Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. And is the deal that you're bringing today in Oxfordshire?
No, not at all.
Right.
It's actually international, which is in Spain.
Oh, amazing. So that's actually our first deal that's an international deal. How
Yeah.
exciting.
Fingers crossed.
So tell us a little bit more about it then.
It's actually a property or land that we own
Okay.
in the Valencian region, which is in Alicante, and
Lovely
it
part of
has
Spain.
a license to develop a campsite.
Okay, really exciting.
It really is off the cuff, I suppose, from the
Yeah.
point of view of what people would be expecting, but it's a fantastic, great investment opportunity.
Okay.
And looking forward to put it forward to the angels and see what they think.
Yeah, great. So how much are you hoping to achieve today?
We would like £350,000, which equates roughly to about 400,000 euros. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
right. Great. That's super exciting.
Yeah.
Helen is very
In Malta,
international.
I
yeah,
understand.
she's in Malta.
Yeah,
so
done my research.
I have a feeling she's going to like this one.
I hope so. I
Yeah,
hope
well-
so. Especially the figures stack up, because I know she's very particular with the figures. So we've got everything ready for her. Hopefully she will, give it a good look over, and
Yeah.
who knows?
So you said is there 2 of you today?
Absolutely. Not in person, but my husband will be on Zoom, and he will
Right.
be, able to pitch in as well, because obviously it is a big project and I don't know everything. So we sort of divide and conquer,
Use your
basically.
time together.
Use it
Very, very wise.
Thank
Well,
you.
good luck. That's
Thank
really
you.
exciting. And I'll have a chat to you when you get out.
That would be great. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
So guys, listen, we've got a really interesting deal coming to us now, and that is in Spain.
Oh,
So
First.
sounds like a bit of Helen to me.
yeah. Love a bit of
Yeah,
sunshine.
like a bit of sunshine. Let's get Jenny in, and we've got Derek on Zoom from Spain. So that'll be an interesting experience for us all, including Derek, I'm sure. Hi Jenny, thank you
Hello.
so much for coming in today, and for Derek, who's live from Spain as well. Do tell us a bit about yourselves, if you may, if you would please, and also about the deal you brought today.
All right, well, I'll start with the deal. Okay, obviously you know our names, Derek and Jenny. So what we are doing is we're bringing you an opportunity to invest in Spain. We own a beautiful piece of land there that is ripe and ready for development. And we feel that in the pandemic, with the whole attitude to lifestyle and tourism, this is what people are asking and wanting. And we have the exact, project to suit those needs.
And could you tell us a little bit about yourselves as well?
Okay, so
Your background and stuff.
Our background, we are both South African. We moved to London, goodness me, a long time ago, nearly 30 years ago. We came with £500 and I had a background in floristry, but we started working, I started working for a guy who actually used to develop properties, but I cleaned his house. And one day he had this very prestigious event that he was hosting, and I offered to do his house for him and his flowers and everything. And the next day he said that everybody was blown away by what I'd done with the home, staging and everything.
Amazing.
That he said that one of the gentlemen there remarked on it and said, I have a shop. This woman should open a florist. And he came to me and he said, "You're too good to be cleaning my house." And he gave me the keys, honestly, arranged the keys the next day.
Wow.
And we
Amazing.
opened the shop, and it was a full-blown, traditional greengrocers and florist. And they go.
Amen, yeah.
And so Derek, we didn't know anything about fruit and vegetables.
Derek
So
soon learned, did he? Derek
Yeah,
soon
he
learned.
went to a guy in the middle of Wimbledon. Do you remember the Barrows?
Yeah.
And asked a guy there, I'm going to name him Mick, and said, "Will you teach me everything I know about fruit and vegetables?" Took him to the New Covent Garden markets.
Yeah.
And showed him all the trade. I did the floristry side, he did the fruit and
Yeah.
veggie. Then we managed to, we actually lived in the basement, no heating, nothing.
They were the,
But
they were the days.
that went down like a
They were
storm,
the
didn't
days,
it?
Derek, weren't they? Eh? No heating.
But that enabled us to save money, and we extended the shop.
Yep.
Then we built a flat on the shop, at the back of the
Yeah.
shop. And we actually, when Derek was there, at the back of the shop, there was backland. So he remembered, and there was old garages, and he climbed over the fence, found this beautiful piece of land, and found out who owned it. They said, "You'd never get planning on it." He approached the planning department. They actually came to the land, got the application in, built a home for next to nothing.
Yeah.
And then managed to use that equity in the property to buy a home. And then when the buy-to-let property boomed, we were managed to just take advantage of it.
Fantastic.
And we just...
That's what
Great
it's all
way of
about.
starting.
What a wonderful way to start, and congratulations to you both for what you've achieved so far. So tell us a bit about the how much money you're looking for, and how much money we're going to make.
Okay. So I will tell you how much money we're looking for. That's
Yep.
the easy part.
Okay.
Derek will tell you how much you're going to make.
Okay,
That's
good.
why he's on Zoom.
Yep.
We're looking for £350,000,
Yep.
which equates to about 400 in
Euros.
euro.
Yep.
Okay. We own the land outright. We have licensing, planning, everything's done. It's
Yep.
now ready to rock and roll. The problem with the pandemic is that the banks are not willing to fund anything that's not actually an existing business.
Right.
So we've got everything ready to go, and obviously now we're looking for funds to develop it.
Derek, how much money are we going to make, please?
As much as you can dream of. No, now in
Okay.
terms of what you'd be looking at as an investor, we're looking at the 400,000 is ostensibly a 300,000 initial investment with 50,000 as an approximate contingency, just shy of 20%. And the other 50,000 is, I would say, a contingency on a cash flow. In terms of the return, because we're in the very fortunate position of having planning permission, having the license, having the land, having full ownership, and being free of any debts, taxes, or anything like that, this money will go straight into putting in the infrastructure towards opening. The current value of the property, as it stands, is approximately 950,000 on the lower end of the scale with the planning permission, and the top estimate, 1.35. So for purposes of this exercise, I've used the lowest amount, the 950K.
Who's valued it at those figures?
If we take away the land planning permission that we currently have, and we extrapolate that and use the land only on the basis of building a house, which we would be entitled to do, the land has a natural intrinsic value as it stands on the lower end of the scale of 360,000 and on the top end of 480,000. And that is based on building 4 houses on the land with an estimated end value of approximately 320K on 100 to 125 square meter build with a nice little garden.
And have you had a survey? Have you had a valuation?
The valuation and the estimate there was pretty much the amounts that we are working on of 950. So we've taken that as the threshold. The bank valuation at that point in time extrapolated when the project was completed to be worth approximately 1.8 million. We've downvalued that to 1.6 with a top of 1.8. So we're working on figures that are ostensibly 10, 11 years old.
Why haven't you got a more recent valuation, can I ask?
The banks are not interested in doing any financing or lending at this point in time. We've gone to estate agents and we've got agency estimates and valuations, which tend to coincide with these numbers. So I didn't see the point in going to get a bank valuation when the bank was not going to be involved with us in any shape or form.
Sure, I mean, it doesn't...
They're only interested in funding once you have a fully operational business, which is kind of the chicken and the egg scenario.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really need a bank valuation, just a valuation, and you can pay for a valuation with a surveyor. It might cost you a couple of £1,000.
We're quite happy to go and get that done if that needs to be.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
Sure, but you're so confident in the value, you don't need it for yourselves. I think it would have helped us to have a formal recent bank valuation to hang our hat on.
Absolutely. I think with the time constraints, when we were notified of being on the program, that valuation we hadn't instructed, and if we were to instruct it, we're probably looking at 2 or 3 months before we would get it in any event.
Okay.
This planning permission license was obtained last year in July on the 24th. And since then, we have made various improvements to the property vis-a-vis putting in the roads, putting in a borehole, getting ablution blocks ready, installing the office. So it's already an ongoing process, and we were doing it ourselves. So the point of looking at the bank valuation at that point in time wasn't uppermost in our thoughts.
How much has been spent? How much money have you put into this site already?
Just over 350,000. I put round numbers, but 350K, and that's in euros.
Can I ask a silly question that you've just mentioned? Why is it taking you 17 years to get to this point? I mean, COVID's been the last couple of years. I can appreciate COVID's tricky financing, but you've had 15 years prior to that. Planning.
That's actually, I've answered it, Derek. Basically planning.
Wow,
With this development, it's in a protected area.
Okay.
We've had to get Pisces Hixica, it's very difficult to say. They were the stumbling block each time. This project has been resubmitted probably about 6 or 4 times?
Really? Wow.
And they were the stumbling block. Eventually we got it, so we didn't have to go through every single department.
There's 17 different planning departments.
17.
Wow.
We have had
Well,
to get
well done to you guys.
environmental
Really
impact,
impressive.
everything that you can possibly do. And camping gave us, tourism gave us, but the Pisces wouldn't. They wanted everything off. And then tourism came back and said, what's the point of having an empty plot? What are you going to do? So it was actually negotiation of years. We actually almost employed a retired Spanish guy to go outside and sit there in the offices. He would go there, they say, we're going out for lunch. And then he said, right, I'll be back when you're here. It's absolutely, anybody who's ever been through the planning, it's just phenomenal.
We all admire you greatly. It makes us all feel a bit humble compared to our planning system. We all moan about that, by the way.
Well, exactly.
So, Ranjan, what do you think?
Yeah, I wanted to ask a little bit about the ownership structure
Yes.
of the company that you're proposing. I see a bunch of other names on here apart from yourself and Derek.
Yes.
Can you just explain what it is that you're proposing?
Anything that we do for the future, we do with family. So Derek will, those are the names of our daughters.
Ah, right.
So I don't know if you need any further clarification from that, but that's why, even for argument's sake, now where we've reinvested back in the UK, we've bought properties in the names of our daughter as a give back for all the sacrifice and the things that they did for the business.
That's very good. Well done.
So you've got the planning, great,
Yes.
which is great.
Yeah.
Took 17 years.
Yep. Yep.
Is that the final hurdle? Is it going to take 17 years to build it?
No, but we've got everything to the removal of wastewater, to exactly the noise control of it. There's every single thing has been dotted across. We've even paid the tax now to start the works, which has to be given by the local municipality.
One thing I don't quite get is in the UK, if you go through a convoluted planning process and you get the permissions, then that adds value
Yes.
to the site.
Yes.
Now, I don't understand the Spanish market.
Yes.
It sounds so complicated that I would assume that having gone through the process and come out at the other end would add some value to that site.
Yes.
And therefore it's a little bit difficult to assess without that valuation. I don't have a handle on how much value you've added, if at all. But in the UK, going through a process like that would add a lot.
Well, they've added a lot. I mean, they're saying now it's worth 950,000, whereas without the camping planning, it's worth 360,000.
So okay.
So,
Yeah.
so they've added 600, just
Yeah.
under 600,000
Okay.
of
So
value.
we're looking at that.
So we're looking at, with planning, it's worth 950 now. So actually, as a, if we can trust that, and of course we do trust that,
Absolutely.
I'm sure we'll have a valuation done as part of the due diligence, but there's 950,000 asset.
Yes.
They're asking for 400,000. That's good security, I think.
Yes.
So there's very long time frames involved,
Yes.
isn't there? And you say
Yes.
you want to get this up and running by next Easter?
Absolutely.
Okay, and what's the exit for the investor?
What we're able to offer is a multifaceted strategy for exit. One, it could be a straight up investment loan, payback on completion of the project and opening, because at that point we can do a remortgage and pay back. There's the option that you can stay in and do it as a joint venture and become a shareholder with us. And there's also the option that we can offer where you can do it on a tapered basis, where if you felt that, okay, I've put 400 in, but I would like to only keep 200 in this and enjoy some sort of recurring ongoing revenue, but I want 200 back on this date, we could do that as well. If we finance this ourselves, it would leave us cash strapped, and we don't want to find ourselves in that position. There is, of course, another option that we do the project, get it to a key ready point, and then sell it on to somebody else, and then we all walk our own ways with our share profit at that point as well.
If I stay in the deal, am I investing into your company? And what share do I get of that if I put the 400,000 in?
Currently, the company is owned 50-50 by my wife and I. So our proposal was to split the shares on the basis of 14-14, 13 each for our girls and a third for the investor.
I've made my mind up, and unfortunately this deal isn't for me. One, because I'd want to have control, because that's how I work, 51%. That's the first thing. And secondly, I don't know really anything about Spain apart from Porto Banús and some good memories, and riding actually up in the mountains as well, which I've done quite a lot of in Spain. So it isn't for me, but I appreciate it's probably a very good opportunity for someone, but I just don't know enough about it, and I'd want to have control, and I can understand why you wouldn't want to do that. So for me, it isn't for me today, but I'm hoping that one of the other angels it will be.
Can I ask you about the refinancing? You've said you've built it next summer within 12 months of opening, so a couple of years from now, you'd be looking at being able to refinance it.
Absolutely, yeah.
That seems a very short timescale. If we're starting a business in the UK, like a serviced accommodation business or a campsite or glamping, anything similar in the UK, you'd probably need 3 years worth of accounts to finance the business rather than the land. So is that refinance based on the business itself and the numbers you're going to generate, or is it is it focused on the actual land that you've got there and just the availability of finance coming back in?
We've estimated the sales, and I've only based this on a 25% occupancy in the first year, of about 56K.
Once you've done the infrastructure and the site is live, you're then saying the uplift in value without any trading activity would be around the 1.6 million mark. Is that correct?
That's correct. There or thereabouts.
So the money we put in, 400,000, that'll do the infrastructure,
Yeah.
and that 400,000 makes the 950,000 turn into 1.6 million. So our 400,000
That's
adds
absolutely spot on.
750,000 of value.
And if the business is opened and run through, you're adding another 30%, 40% to that.
Yeah, okay. And that takes you up to
And
the
there's
2.3
also
million.
two ways of dealing with that. That can be left in this company, or this company can be ring fenced and then given a contract to actual company to manage and run it for us, which we would split on exactly the same basis.
I'll say where I am, and unfortunately it's not for me. And the reason is nothing you've done. I think it's a cracking investment. I'm a fisherman. I've got a classic VW split screen camper van. I absolutely love the project, absolutely love it. But I'd be really worried about a bank lending on that final value to get my 400,000 back in a year or two's time. 2 years is too long for that money. I could turn that money over 8 or 9 times on deals in that 2 years. So although that in your world at 17 years doing this, it's absolutely formidable what you guys have done, and you've stayed at it and persevered, and that's incredible character you've done. You've got to be able to achieve such a thing. But 2 years is too long for investing 400,000, I'm afraid. And if that 400,000 turned into $1 million in a year, I might be interested.
It's a bit greedy, Nicholas, that, isn't it?
Well, I can invest that in any commercial to resi scheme.
£400,000 how many times into 2 years?
Probably 2 or 3 times a year.
Really?
Couple of times a year.
I need to invest in you, Nicholas.
I'm pretty sure we're going to do it soon, John.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
So I won't be investing, but good luck,
Thank
and
you.
I'm going to follow the journey, and very exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really keen to follow your journey as well, Jenny, because I love the passion, I love the drive, I love the tenacity, the determination that this has taken to get you to this point. I know very well how it is to do kind of business abroad, being I live abroad myself, and it's for that reason, to be honest, that this isn't for me, because I don't know enough about Spain and all the hoops to jump through there, so I'm not comfortable taking risks that I don't kind of fully understand. But exactly, I'm so keen to follow your journey, and possibly pop over and have a little holiday there too.
Definitely.
If you'll have us after saying we're out, Helen, we might not be invited.
I think
there's 2 more to go yet.
Oh, well.
You might have some good news yet.
Yeah,
Ranjan.
just to
Paul,
echo some of what's already been said. Given the location, everything that's gone into this, my biggest concern is that this takes 4 years to do or 5 years to do. The word siesta was mentioned before, and that they can have a big impact sometimes in Spain, from what I'm told. So that would be my main concern, and the fact that aside from the money, I don't see that I can add that much value to this. I think you more so need a silent investor that's just looking for a return on their money, where I don't think that's what we're here for.
No, we like to be a bit more active, don't we?
Yeah, exactly. So for that reason, it's not for me.
I like to make investments where I can add specific value.
Yeah.
And I'll go further than Paul. He says there's little value he can add on this deal. There's 0 value I can add on this. I just know nothing.
Yes. No, I appreciate
so that's
that.
why I would be out of this.
I have to say, what you've brought us today is super impressive, and congratulations to you both. My advice, for what it's worth, is take the money out of your own home, invest it yourself.
Yeah, get it done.
With your family, because actually, if you can keep control of this, if it's going to be as good as you think it's going to be, you will kick yourself to have one of us or anyone else share that, because actually you've done all the hard work. You've got to the end of the road, really. You've done it all. And now, really, for you, it should be pretty much a downhill slope. It should really be a time for you to really enjoy with your family, and it's very exciting. And I wish you all we all do, we wish you all the very best, because I think what you've achieved is amazing after 17 years. Amazing.
Thank you
and
very
thank
much.
you for coming today. Thank you.
So how did we get on?
They weren't interested, but it's not something to be ashamed of, because they were
Absolutely not.
absolutely positive. They know the project is great, but let's be realistic from a point of view. They have their investments here in the UK. This was completely, a chance, really, wasn't it? But they can see the value in it. They can see that it will be a good, and their advice is for us to basically still do it.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Good.
maybe they'll come over for a holiday. Who
Oh,
knows?
nice. Yeah, that would be lovely.
And they
wouldn't
all
it?
said they're going to watch it with interest. So yeah, watch the space basically.
Great. Well, all the best with it. I hope it goes really, really well for you.
Bye-bye now.
I really wanted to invest in that. I loved it.
I
would
thought
love.
you were quite
I thought
close.
you-
I was
You were.
mentally, I was close, but
I
you
thought
can't
you-
make an investment. You've literally no idea when you get your money back.
Yeah.
Well,
Unfortunately,
I just thought,
It's too risky
you know,
to-
they've done all the hard bit, and actually, they're obviously wealthy people, successful wealthy people, and why wouldn't they just put the last bit in themselves? It's not that hard
Yeah,
to find.
to
If
give
you've
up-
got a £2 million, you know, euro property.
hopefully we've given them the courage to do.
Well, I think we've encouraged them and given them perhaps more confidence to do that. And I think at the end of the day, if we've done that, we've done our job in a way.
So he's back for more. It's Yogesh from season 2. Welcome back.
Hi, nice to see you again.
Lovely to see you too.
Yeah.
So tell us about the deal that you brought this time.
This time I've brought a house which can be demolished and turned into at least 7 flats.
So how much backing do you need? How much funding?
Oh, money, about £400,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
And GDV?
3.2 million.
So a very nice, healthy
be-
GBD there.
Yes, there's a big profit. A profit around £800,000.
Wow.
So doubling your money.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All exciting.
I'm excited to do it again. Yeah.
Good,
Looking
yeah.
forward to meeting them again.
Oh, that will be really, really nice. Well,
Yeah.
good luck.
Thank you.
And I'll have a chat to you when you get out.
The name Yogesh rings a bell to me. I think we've been on the show before with us, hasn't he, Yogesh? Didn't
Yep,
you
Series
both
2 veteran.
agree a deal, wasn't it? Nicholas, Helen and myself who wanted to do the deal with him, and he said no to us.
I think we got put in the naughty corner.
did he
didn't
say
we?
yes to?
He said yes to, yeah, he said yes to you and Ranjan. You split it, didn't you, between you, the deal?
did.
But we won't hold that against
We won't hold
him.
that against him this time. Yogesh,
Hello.
hello. We recognise you. We know who you are. But for the benefit of the new viewers we have this time of the show, would you like to say who you are and also what experience you've got briefly and what deal you brought to us today, please?
Thank you very much. Thanks for inviting me. So my name's Dr. Yogesh Patel. I really enjoyed it last time. It was a great time. So I was going to do this
We
deal.
didn't, by the way, because you blew the three
I
of
did,
us out.
Yogesh. I enjoyed it, don't
You
worry.
blew the three
Yeah.
of us out, Yogesh, but carry on.
We've not
No, it was a
forgotten
good
that.
appearance in,
So you're
in the last
pitching-
series.
Pitching to your two best friends over there.
Yeah, you want to just point at these
Just
two,
look
don't
this
you?
way.
Just look that way, don't you?
Don't worry about that lot.
Shall I just walk off now?
No, you're okay.
You've got two angels to
The
talk
great
to.
thing, Yogesh, we don't hold grudges, do we, Helen?
Only a bit.
Only a little bit. Helen tends to, but I don't. So carry on.
It's your
Sorry.
chance now.
Yeah, it's our big chance.
Oh, thank you.
It's
Wow.
our big chance.
I'm so honoured.
Carry on.
I was going to do this deal myself, but then I thought I got the invitation. I thought, let me apply again. I've secured the deal. It's subject to planning deal. It's a detached house in Bromley, which you can knock down and convert into at least 7 flats, potentially more. Bromley, it's got excellent transport links, amenities. I've already submitted the pre-app and I've asked 3 different planning consultants about what they think. And they're all very positive about this. It's in a very, it's already in the area with lots of flats. Purchase price 1 million. Build cost 1.1 million. The GDV for the 7 flats is 3.2 million. It's about £300,000 of costs, finance and stamp duty really. So it leaves £800,000 profit to share. Profit on GDV is 25%. Profit on costs is 33%. And profit on cash invested is 180%. So that's £800,000 profit for 7 flats. I think with your help, with your expertise, you might be able to get 8 or 9 flats. The parking is a limitation here, not the size of the plot. And also we could try planning in principle to try and de-risk the deal further. I did think about Class ZA, where you can knock down the house and rebuild the flats, but which I heard from your YouTube video, Ranjan.
Oh, don't start. I tell you what, how long's that taken him to say that?
Well, he's only talking to 2 people, so
Oh, he's
we knew
not
that.
talking to us.
We knew that.
I'll face this way. So if one of you 3 want to put in £400,000,
Yeah,
I'll put in
well, we might do.
I'll put in 50, okay?
That's good of you.
Development finance will fund the rest of the purchase.
Yep.
And I've got 2 special ways to finance the build. So development finance will do 100%. Well, I've got experienced team project managers and builders who I've worked with before who's happy to do that. Or I've got one special builder I've worked with. He will fund the whole lot, do the whole lot, and not want any money until the plats are sold. And they will do it 100%, promise. And
So what do you need us for?
well, I wanted your help with planning, particularly, and maximising it and making sure I've got the right optimization of the flats and increasing the number of flats. That's particularly what I would like help with. Also, I think with the build and the project management, I think there's always lots of ways of improving, reducing costs, reducing time. And I've done it, but I'd like to do it with a team who's been doing it much more than me.
Okay.
So I want your experience.
Okay, that's great. So who would like to start? We might as well start with your favourite.
Oh, I thought you was talking to Paul. Okay, so you want to knock this place down.
Yeah.
It's 1850. Are there any restrictions on doing demolition work of these sort of old buildings?
Not conservation area, not a listed building, not locally or nationally listed. It's a flatted area, as I said, and Bromley local plan want family homes.
When you've got the existing building doesn't look too bad. Have you looked into the possibility of what can be done within the if anything, is worth doing within the existing envelope? Because it doesn't look that bad.
The parking, it's very forward. So there's not enough room to put the parking if it stays there. They want at least 5 parking.
Okay. And £1 million purchase price still negotiable?
So I've secured it as 1 million on a purchase lease option.
Okay. But it's subject to, obviously it's subject to planning. If you don't get the planning.
Yeah, subject to planning, yeah.
What have you put in for the demolition of the building?
About 35 to 40,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can live with that. Very good.
And is that in with the building contingency?
I did £2,100 per square foot, which I think is more than it will be.
The build cost is including all the
Demo.
consultants' fees and demo.
Yes.
So it includes all
And
that.
SIL.
SIL's not in the build cost, SIL's in the...
But you've allowed for it.
allowed for it, yeah.
Also, there's no contingency in there? Or it's not split out?
I haven't
is
split
there?
it out. So the 1.1 includes contingency.
So this this infamous 1.1 is starting to include quite a lot of stuff, isn't it? Does it include a holiday as well, or is that extra?
I do
Somewhere in the
think
other
£2,100 per square metre is more than it should
Well,
be.
the only thing I would say, Yogesh, is that build costs are going through the roof at the moment. I know they're talking about them coming down in 9 to a year's time again, but at the moment, if you were to get planning in 3 months, 4 months, and want to start, these builders at the moment are having a real problem in fixing prices because of the build cost just going through the roof.
What percentage of that are you counting as the consultants' fees, architects, any surveys needing doing, that kind of stuff?
It was about 10%.
Okay, that's a good amount for that kind of size site.
Okay, well, we don't need to spend 10% with that lot, that's for sure. Thank goodness.
How long has the pre-app been in? At what stage is it at?
It should be imminently decided. It went in the April, so the council's quite slow, but should be imminently decided. But
We're doing 56. How long is it?
28 days, isn't it?
Good. 28 days, isn't it?
Supposed to be. I mean,
Pre-app is a bit difficult.
It doesn't
because
Yeah.
Sometimes it's how long is a piece of string.
Well, it should be 28. That's the whole point of a pre-app.
Yeah, I know, but I've never had one
Yeah.
in 28 days.
I have, to be
I've-
fair.
I've had a
I have
few,
at
yeah.
times. Yeah, I have.
that's where I need your help, John.
No, well, I can't. Well, it's already in. I can't do a lot about this one, Yogesh. But you might well get my help. Might well be pleasantly surprised. Mind you, you might turn me down again, of course. I'm ready to make an offer. Can I go first?
Go for it.
I would like to offer you all the money to do the deal, apart from the 50 grand that you want to pop in. That's a bit of hurt money. That's good. Thank you. And I'll give you, or I'm willing to give you, 40% of the profit, net profit.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Have you considered developing the back of the plot?
I
and
have.
Keeping the existing house?
That is, I was going to mention that, but yes, there's plenty of room to put a house basically in the back.
But it's parking's the issue.
Parking is the issue.
Getting
But you
there.
could use some of the land between the two properties then, couldn't you?
So what I wanted to do is secure the front, get the front granted, and then obviously once you've got that granted, you can play around the back. But I do think there's huge potential at the back. Yeah.
Well, I think at your pre-app meeting, it'd be great to use that time to see if they'd look at either option, because then if you don't have to demolish the front,
Yeah.
you can build the same thing at the back you've just added £1 million to your GDV by keeping the front.
Well, I've done all my figures. I put my book down.
So that's a cherry on the top if you get it.
I've made my offer. Thank you for the extra help, Nicholas.
That's okay.
You might get this, John.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
I'm willing to offer on it.
So close, John, so close.
So
That's one of his best friends as
yeah,
well.
I know, he's his best mate. I'm out one time.
one thing that I can offer that potentially John can't is I can sell these off plan and lock in the profit from day one.
Well, can
That's
I just...
not bad at all, is it,
Yogesh,
Paul?
can I just say...
That's why he's your best friend.
if we do the deal, Yogesh, we
You
can
can be
go
my
to
best
Paul
friend.
and Paul can do that for us anyway.
No, I won't do
So,
that.
and he's meant to be a mate of mine and I'm doing business with him.
I won't do that.
We'll talk about it over dinner.
With the idea of the 7, 8 or 9 flats, I assume that's something you've looked into. What do you think the likelihood is of the three
Parking's
options?
the problem. I wouldn't touch it if I was you,
parking.
Paul. I wouldn't touch the deal.
I have some ideas. Shall I tell you my ideas?
Yeah.
Maybe an underpass and put the parking at the rear.
Oh, anything, once you go into the ground, Yogesh, you are talking danger. Danger money.
What was your offer?
A very good one.
He said 40%
60%
to me, 60% to him.
Okay, so everything I've just said, and I'll give you 45% of the profit.
Thank you, Paul.
Right.
Well, can you remind me of your deal with your very wealthy, tons of money in the bank, doesn't need it for any time soon, developer friend? What percentage does he want?
I haven't negotiated that yet.
No. Well, I think that's probably pie in the
But
sky. You can forget about that.
He didn't get the sense he would be greedy or anything. He wants to work. I don't believe it would be that much more than he would have charged me normally. But we can get 2 quotes and get his normal quote, his other quote, and see if it's
It's obviously
worth it.
going to want a share of the profit though, right?
Yeah, he would want a share. And obviously that share profit was more than development finance. There's no point using him.
Worth looking into, but likely, unless things.
I think one advantage is he would keep the cost down if it was profit sharing, because he would be into his incentive to do that.
Yeah,
So
well, I'm not sharing it 3 ways.
I like a good 3-way, and I'd offer you on the basis that your guy does a 3-way with us.
Okay.
I'd only want 30% of the joint profit between us, assuming ours is the sort of 100% portion.
What does that mean in English?
Well, let's say the builder wants 50%.
After the bill taken.
I want
It doesn't sound like that's a real thing.
I want 15%. So depending on how keen you can get that deal with the builder, if you can get the cost down by using him, potentially there's more profit, and my share would be potentially 0, depending on how low you can get those build costs.
Very interesting.
Helen?
That's a novel one for you.
Yeah.
Well, I can't compete with anything that's on the table here, so I'll rule myself out and won't add to your headache for deciding.
Would you work with somebody before you rule yourself out?
Who, me?
Well, one day you can share, John, can't you?
I don't share.
One day.
John
I
doesn't
don't share with any angel.
Never ever.
No.
With my offer, we don't need any finance, so that would rule out, unfortunately,
Exactly,
us
it doesn't
working
work.
together.
Still got to purchase. You've got to still got
I
to
would be
purchase
more than
the
willing
property.
to work with Helen. But
Nicholas, you still got to purchase the property.
Yeah, still need to fund the.
Still need to
million
purchase. You've still got to find 1.1 million or whatever it is.
good point.
Just thought I'd mention it.
Unless you're going to put in $1 million.
No, I'm not putting $1 million in.
No.
Listen, I like the fact that you've done this conditionally. That's good. I think there's a lot to play around with in upping the GDV through optimizing the planning on this one. My proposal is, okay, you've either got here, you've got £1 million purchase still negotiable. So if you can get that down to 950, or increase your input from 50 to 100, I'll share with you 50-50. And we'll do this deal and we'll probably make it better than that GDV.
I'm going to change my offer if I may.
Oh, you can't do that.
Oh, he makes up the rules. He can do what he wants.
So here we go.
I'll go straight 50-50 with you.
Yeah.
You put no money in, just the stamp duty, okay? But you sign a personal guarantee with me, because we're both going to sign a personal guarantee on this with the bank.
And the stamp duty, as I've put in the pack.
44.5 or 86 if the house isn't knocked down.
Paul's offer is a straightforward 45.
Do the other panelists get to review their offers, John?
Well, it's up to you.
Time is in the middle.
Time's pushing on. I just want to get
All
this
right.
wrapped up, obviously.
One last change to mine. I would do the same as what John offered. but keeping in mind that I can pre-sell it.
Okay.
I'll do it 50-50 on the figures that you've given. I think the value here is not in getting the builder to fund it, it's on optimising the planning.
Ranjan, would you be willing to do that with me?
God, they're going to stitch me up again, aren't they? I can't believe it's happening twice.
Deja vu.
Deja vu, deja vu.
No, I think I'm going to stick to my guns on this. I think this is. I'm not sure. I do agree with John that the sales angle is not a big deal on this, and I don't think it's that complicated a project actually.
So logically, your offer is the best because
It is the best,
I don't need to put money
for
in.
many reasons it's the best, Yogesh,
Okay.
yeah.
Don't you have to put the stamp in?
Oh, sorry, it's stamp
So
duty.
you
Yeah.
have to
Yeah,
put the stamp in.
Put the stamp in, and we go, and we have to sign the personal guarantee together, both of us.
Whoever I pick, I'm going to upset someone, aren't I?
Well, you've upset
Yeah.
me last time, so we're still talking, Yogesh. So don't think you just got to pick me for that reason. I mean, at the end of the day, you know Ranjan well, and you know Paul because you've worked with them before, and I understand that completely. And it's all a bit of fun, and you know I'm not going to hold any grudges for more than about 24 hours, probably.
My gut says. My gut says. Because I've already worked with you, I think I'd like to give someone else a chance. That's what my gut says. Hopefully you won't be too upset, but I think, and also your deal's better on the numbers, and it'd just be nice to work with someone different. But I think you're all giving me generous offers, and it'd be nice to just have another friend. So John?
Great, thank you very much. Be delighted to work with you, Yogesh. Let's see if we can make it a success. I'm sure we can.
So I heard a lot of laughter in the room. Did you get another royal flush this time?
Almost. So they all were interested. They all wanted to offer. I think because Helen couldn't match the other offers, so she just stepped out gracefully. But basically, yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So who did you go for? Is it another split?
So no one wanted to share this time.
Right.
So that made it a bit harder.
Greedy angels.
Yes, they were all not sharing. So I had to pick one and only one. And I picked John, mainly because he gave me the best offer, I think numerically. And also I've worked with the other two who offered. So I thought, let me try someone new.
Okay, go for a new friend.
New friend, yeah.
Well, congratulations. That's amazing news. When do you hope to kind of make the next steps?
Yeah, so I think John will be calling me tomorrow and then we'll go from there.
Right, so quick turnaround.
Quick turnaround.
Off you go.
Thank you.
Oh, well, good luck with it, and I hope it all goes really well.
Yeah.
Two against one.
Well, I actually thought they were going to team up against me.
Well, maybe I should have done it.
I think
if you'd have split it with me, we'd have got it.
Yeah, we would have
got
got it.
it.
I just thought I'd try the old John line, I ain't sharing, and look where it got me.
But I mean, he's a very experienced guy, very likeable, isn't he? Very experienced.
He knew what he was doing.
And he
Great
knows-
pack again.
Great pack, and so much gives you so much confidence when you get a pack that we can understand and relate to, and all the rest of it. It makes a huge difference, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, you got three of us who wanted to do it, so it says it all, doesn't it? Yeah.
So that makes you buying dinner, John?
I think it means you are because of the successes you had last year, Nicholas. But I'm not.
Okay, I'll agree to that.
Well, we can't deny the standards of today's pitches. There's been some amazing opportunities and some that haven't quite worked out for our investors today. But we'll see you next time on Property Elevator.